All right, so let's move on to Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Oh, definitely super, super excited about this one because Venom and Carnage are two of my favorite Marvel characters in general, and both of them are villains, right? Every once in a while, Venom does like this anti-hero thing where he might help Spider-Man here or there. But for the most part, Venom and Carnage are both villains and they're actually enemies of each other. So for those of you don't know, who
Alter
don't know,
egos.
I'm sorry.
Alter egos. They're both
Yeah,
equal.
well, yeah, and Carnage is a criminal. His name is Cletus Kasady, who also receives the symbiote. So that's why because the entire point of the symbiote is that it goes into the host body and then exudes the darkest parts of them, right? So this Carnage
Correct.
guy is supposed to be like way more the person, right? Cletus Kasady is supposed to be way more vicious than Eddie Brock, right? Eddie Brock was just a reporter who would kind of do whatever he needed to do to get the story in the Spider-Man shows anyway. In the very first Venom movie, they kind of paint him as like this hero journalist who is trying to do right, whereas in reality or in the comic books and the cartoons, Eddie Brock was always a little dark, right? That was the
Yeah,
reason
he
that the
was.
symbiote brought out Venom, So, but they're two of my favorite villains. They're being played by two of my favorite actors. Woody Harrelson is playing Carnage,
Yep.
and as you both already know, Tom Hardy is Venom.
That
So,
is true. I
yeah,
gotta say that Venom movie was really dope.
yeah, I
I'm
liked
not.
it.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually watched that thing three times back
Mm-hmm.
in the same week,
You
only
know what?
Mm-hmm.
I,
because.
I actually haven't seen it yet.
Oh man, you
Oh, it's
missing
good,
something
bro.
out.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you
It's
missing.
good, bro. You
You
I'm
gotta
not gonna
watch
missing
lie.
that.
out.
I was a little turned off because of the rating, but
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like a Venom movie should be rated R. It's like to me that's
They got
Yeah,
away.
rocket science, but
I'll tell you this: for it being PG-13, they got away with a little things. I'm not even gonna
yeah, they
lie.
did. It
They
was
got
good.
they got away with a little bit of things. It was
Mm-hmm.
weird because I was like, "Yo, this PG," because I thought it was rated R until I saw. I was like, "Yo, it's PG." No, and actually watching it three times was like, "Yo, he said some shit like that'll go over like a 13-year-old's head," and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Yo," I was like, they did a good job, but
Yeah.
they just
They
need to
did a
make it
good
right
job
on.
actually with that one. They really did. It's not
okay.
like the greatest movie ever, PAT. Like I don't want to exaggerate it in that way or anything, but they did do a good job.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna check it out for myself because I actually read reviews about it and actually read some pretty bad reviews, but I'm not gonna go off what other people say. I'm gonna have to decide for myself if it's
Mhm.
bad, good, or whatever. But
Right.
yeah, I just read that it wasn't well received, I'll say.
I mean, I thought
Yeah,
it was
no,
dope.
no. In all fairness, there were definitely some parts of it where I was like, bruh, that's kind of whack. But like again, because it was not like just, oh my God, the best movie I've ever seen. But for I guess a Marvel film, it wasn't trash. You know what I mean? Like if a Marvel film is trash, that's a big problem. And I
That
feel
is a
like
hell of
they
a
can
problem.
definitely say this movie was fairly decent.
It to be a hell of a problem. But many people can't forget that like Venom is a villain, but he's a very comical villain.
Mm-hmm.
Yet that you got to know your and like Carnage is like slightly the opposite. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
not comical, but he's
No.
a very sick and deranged character.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he is.
Like
Yeah, he
Similar to the
is.
Joker,
like
actually.
he is like he's almost like towards like the Joker and whatnot. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's that deranged. So if this movie is rated R, it makes total sense because because then you can know what Carnage really is. But like
Mm-hmm.
Venom, he's basically a super comical character who's because most people don't feel like Venom is scary, but he's scary, but
Yeah.
he's scary and
Oh, he's
comical
scary
and
enough. I mean, he
yeah, he's
already
scary
Yeah.
enough.
should
He
be
don't
to
need
come across that way.
yeah, it don't
Right.
come, but he is comical. So that's what a lot of people don't know Venom's like personality and whatnot. And I think it's because of the Spider-Man 3 with the Tobey Maguire
Yeah,
one.
they didn't do Venom any justice in that movie.
Yes, that shitty ass one with where they had the dude from that 70s show as Venom. What were they thinking?
Not a good look.
That was just stupid.
It was
he was not
stupid.
A good fit for Venom at all.
Nah, he wasn't.
He wasn't even comical. He was more like he tried to
Topher Grace, that's his name.
Topher Grace,
it just came to me.
Yeah, he was whack as Venom.
Yeah, no, that was a total miscast. Like,
yep.
I would say that one because like that Spider-Man 3, I told everyone the beginning was good. I liked the movie, but like the whole Venom part, it just didn't go well with it.
Well, they didn't show enough of him, honestly.
They really didn't.
They made him. They kind of sidelined him and made
him
focus more on like
for the Sandman.
And they focused more on the Sandman, and Sandman
was whack as hell.
Right.
And the Sandman's not even a really heavy villain of Spider.
No.
And that's what made me wonder. I was like, why is there so much focus on the Sandman? You could have focused a lot more on Venom and have the Sandman coming in and out of it. Then you got something and whatnot. But and I think in that movie also, I think is that the one? I don't think Rhino was shown in that one. I don't think so. Was it?
No, not in that one.
Not that one. I think it was the other Spider-Man movie. But they and I feel like that's why that series just ended because they know they fucked up. Like they know because they put out a really good first one. The second one was really, really good. But that third one, I was like, they just like, you know what? We're just gonna end it here and just leave it as that. Like it looked like there was no passion behind that movie. Because look at the casting, number one, and you guys couldn't even get no one to play Venom. Because here comes my thing, right? When I found out that there was another guy casting a Venom, that's what made me want to watch it. Because I told myself, that dude from the 70s show playing Venom, I was like, look, if that happens again, then I'm going to destroy the Marvel Universe with my voice to make sure y'all listen to a nerd and be like, y'all need to stop casting people that don't look like these damn characters who ain't going to play this shit well.
Don't fit them, you know?
I'm saying like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what DC does and whatnot, because DC fucked up with Ben Affleck, but all I'm just saying is y'all can't fuck up the best thing y'all got, which is y'all winning in the movie game. Y'all can't fuck that up. And if y'all keep fucking that up, then I'm gonna tell y'all like this: y'all gonna be swimming with the fishes, and I'm gonna tell you, E-Man is not going. I'm not swimming with the fishes. If y'all keep fucking it up, I'm letting Marvel Universe know right now, y'all can't be fucking up the movie shit because y'all winning in that game. Don't fuck it up because I'm not getting my fishing reel and save me out from the fishes. Like y'all gonna drown. I'm gonna let y'all drown because it's y'all fault for messing it up and whatnot. Cast better people and whatnot.
In all seriousness, though, like real talk, like what I would like to see, and since we're on the subject of Venom and Carnage in this upcoming movie, I really just want to see a Spider-Man movie with Venom being the main villain. Or Venom and Carnage all in the same movie. Like I want Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage to all be in one movie. You know, I just want to see that storyline, and I want to see it done right. Like they gotta redo that. Like that the Spider-Man 3 that we were just talking about, that needs a redo. We need a Spider-Man movie where Venom is the main villain, and then Carnage could be like a main villain too, and it just focus on that storyline. Like that's what I want to see.
No, they just no. It's like back then, I think it was so like the Marvel was just making his groove. It's like, you know how an athlete first starts a sport and so they kind of like a little awkward and stuff like that. I think Marvel was still awkward with their movies at that time. Like they were finding themselves and how they want things to go, because I think in today's age, Marvel never would have casted Topher Grace for that role, and Sandman lame ass wouldn't have been a villain in that movie.
Yo, real quick, you know what, since we're talking about that movie, So with that particular Spider-Man movie with Topher Grace, so I read that the director, he originally, I believe, didn't want to put Venom in that movie. Of course, the fans, you were like, yeah, we got to see Venom. We got to, Venom is one of Spider-Man's main villains. We got to see that. So from what I understand, he basically said, all right, let me throw Venom in here, but I'm not going to really focus on him because I don't really like him. So it's basically, he didn't like Venom as a character. So that's pretty much why we got what we got.
What this man?
Yeah.
That nigga needs to go fire himself and put himself in a damn corner. That's what he needs to do. He needs to go fire himself. What kind of shit is that? Oh, I don't like the character, so I'ma just not play him so much and whatnot, and then we're just gonna put him in here, and then we're just gonna be like, okay, this is gonna work, and then we're just gonna kill him at the end. Poof, he's gone and whatnot. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, it was just, they just should have just left that whole Venom situation alone. They could have just not even gone there, not even
right. They shouldn't even have they shouldn't have went there. He shouldn't have even have been in that movie.
But the pissed off shit that makes it even worse, they focus so much on the Goblin and whatnot, because the Green Goblin was dead, and Harry came back as the Goblin and whatnot. They focus so much on it. Because remember the first scene and whatnot, because he already knows Peter's Spider-Man, so Peter's swinging down and everything. Goblin attacks him and everything, and then shit goes hells from there in the beginning. But
I actually like that scene.
And that scene was really dope. I ain't gonna lie, that was really dope. But if you had him focus in the beginning, then all of a sudden, the whole symbiote Spider-Man and the jump, when Peter first gets it, he's hanging upside down, don't know what the hell was going on, and then basically got rid of it, and I think that's the reason why they put Venom in it, only because they played that part in the comic and in the anime series where Peter, when he first gets attached to the symbiote, basically, I think because of, I think it came from space, how they did it in the cartoon series, and it came from space and everything like that.
Right.
I forgot how they did it in the movie, but I think they did it in the lab.
It fell out of the sky somewhere.
So it fell out the sky somewhere, and then basically it ended up in the lab, and I think it got on Peter.
It came back from a spaceship. Remember, from a trip to space?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and it landed in a park where Peter was near it, and it attached on to Peter.
Yeah. So, and then afterwards, he's hanging, he gets it, and then all of a sudden he goes up. Then all of a sudden he's hanging upside down, and you got, he has the black symbiote suit and whatnot. And I feel like they did that just to bring in Venom, but I feel like that wasn't even a good look because it didn't sell anything at all, nothing at all. I don't. It's just they ruin a good movie for no reason, and they just want. And I felt at that time, and that was early. That was early, early in the 2000s and what, like I think 2010s and whatnot. But they just felt like adding villains at that time and make it look, I think they were trying to be like, well, it looks great, but in my eyes, it just you're not getting anywhere because basically everyone died at the end. I think except for the Sandman, I believe, because I think the Sandman didn't die.
Right. Sandman didn't die. I can't remember whether Venom actually dies or whether they just separate the symbiote from him or not. But
no, Venom dies because the symbiote tried to separate from him, but then he didn't. It didn't separate.
He falls down the well or something.
Yeah, and then Harry throws the bomb and kills him. And I think at that time, Harry falls down to his death and he dies and whatnot.
Yeah, I remember that Harry dies too, because I think Harry blocked Spider-Man being killed or something like that. But no, I agree with you guys in general. The good part is, though, we're not going to have to worry about some lame villains in this movie. Carnage is, as you both mentioned before, definitely a very vicious foe to Venom, and I'm super excited. The other significant thing is that Spider-Man will have an appearance here. And
nice.
yeah, and it's very
Dope. That's
significant
gonna
if
be
you
dope.
keep in mind that Tom Holland only has one more movie, which is Spider-Man 3. Okay. No Way Home. He only has one more movie left in his contract and has been very vocal. I don't know if you all have heard lately, but I've been keeping up with this for quite some time now because, the different studios are making different moves in order to be able to retain some of their rights to some of these characters. Well, Tom Holland does not want to expand past his current contract to play Spider-Man. And
Because
his
he's some
last
shit.
movie, I'm sorry, go ahead, Eman.
Oh, he's just some shit, but continue though.
Yeah, his last movie as Spider-Man per this contract is going to be Spider-Man 3. So I'm just thinking this is the second to last time we're going to see Tom Holland in this. So this is going to be, very interesting to me. It looks to be a very intricate film in that they considered a lot of different variables because even in the trailer you see the Avengers Tower. So I'm wondering if this version of Venom, Tom Hardy's version of Venom, is going to end up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, are they going to try to buy him from Sony? Because, there's really multiple pieces going on here. Mm-hmm. Sony owns some Marvel characters. Fox owns some Marvel characters, right? Yeah. It's my understanding that like Marvel, which is owned by Disney, basically has been negotiating with Fox for like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men for all of those characters.
Which they got them now.
Because of the movies.
Right, exactly. So when you consider that and the fact that you see, I mean, not just Spider-Man, you also see Spider-Man supporting characters in this movie. So I just think it's going to be very, very interesting to see how intricate this movie really, really is as far as weaving those sets of characters together and see what they do with that. So
it'll be very interesting because I think that Spider-Man, the one that that's always behind Tony's back and whatnot, I think that's the one that has the cool Mary J. The Aunt May and whatnot. She's not older, but she's much younger and whatnot.
Right,
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
I always butcher her name.
But I can kind of see that because I would think they would add Venom in the other guy who played Spider-Man and whatnot. The dude who played in that damn Facebook movie and whatnot. I forget the dude's name.
Oh, Andrew Garfield.
Garfield.
I actually liked him as Spider-Man when he
did. I'm not gonna lie. He fit the role perfect.
He fit the role. That's part of the thing to consider, and we can get into it when we talk about Spider-Man because this is still, the Venom discussion. But that's one of the things to really consider about the next Spider-Man movie. So you may not be off as much as you think there, Eman. You may actually be onto something. And I am going to speak on that briefly in our next subject. But you just giving you a heads up, you may not be too off there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. And then the last thing that was interesting to me is that this Venom is going to be directed by Andy Serkis. So I don't know if you all know who Andy Serkis is, but he's the one that played Ulysses Claw in the Black Panther movie.
Black Panther, yep.
Yeah, and I am super hyped because apparently he is some kind of like CGI guru. And he's very familiar with like the technical workings of film. And this is going to be his directing debut, which is exciting because I like that guy, the character he plays in the movies. And he just seems like a very energetic person.
Oh, fun fact. He's actually gonna play Alfred in the new Batman coming out next year.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, you talking about the new Batman in 2022?
Yes, the one with
the Batman.
The Batman.
Yeah, with Robert Pattinson.
All right. So that
Yeah.
means Ben Affleck's not playing Batman in that one, right?
No, this is a separate
Thank goodness.
from
Ooh.
that universe thing. Like it's that's what's weird about the DCU. They don't make any effort to really connect things. They just kind of sell their rights to whoever wants to do a version of that character.
The reason why is, and I actually know this because I actually researched this. The reason why is that many characters have different creators and whatnot. Like Bob Crane created Batman, and but here comes the thing: he created Batman, but he didn't create Joker, and that's how like many different characters were created by different people, but then they created a whole universe like together and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why each DC characters have different rights and whatnot. But I think the only one that's different, I think it has to do with like the Flash and whatnot, because his super villains are all different, but they're intertwined with like everyone else.
Arrow, yeah,
Like him and Arrow, like they
share a lot of the same ones.
they have the same supervillains, but then also some of them are also like Batman supervillains also too, which is weird by the way. But they're all in a link with each other. So that's just a simple fun fact about about DC. But Marvel's different because Marvel has same characters, they have the same creators and like co-creators on certain characters and whatnot, but then they sold some of the rights to like other studios to recreate certain things. So like Fox made like the whole Fantastic Four cartoon and like Iron Man, you know what I'm saying? And that's when they own rights to that, because I think they asked for the rights to those characters for Stan Lee to actually make like that animated series like during like in the 90s.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and I understand that because there are always just like with comic books in general, there are always different iterations of a character, right? They will rewrite it so in this arc a character is this way, in this arc a character is that way, right? Like hence Batman Beyond, where it's like the younger version of him, but different things are happening. There are multiple versions of a character. There's been like 4 different Robins. So I get it. I just feel like DC, however, has a responsibility in this day and time, if they want to even come remotely close with matching the greatness of Marvel movies, to do a better job of keeping audiences enthralled with their films, which is hard to do when you have so many separate projects and separate versions of characters. It's like, well, I'm gonna be excited, but only to a certain extent because I've seen 7 different Batmans now. You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's all they can give out. I apologize.
I just hope they do. So because of that, they have to do a better job going forward with the way that they're putting these movies together, as far as connection wise, because the only ones they've been connecting are like they connected Wonder Woman, they connected Aquaman, they connected Batman versus Superman to the Justice League. Okay, great. But then when you have all of these separate projects, especially with characters that people come to love. For instance, people have come to love Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, but he's not even going to be in any of the upcoming Batman movies if they make sequels with Robert Pattinson because of the timeline. That sucks, dude. Because we love the latest Joker, but you haven't even connected him in any way. So there's no chance of a sequel. It's like they just do these money grabs. And that's annoying because we would rather see the effort. Right.
I agree.
Right, yeah,
I mean, definitely.
You know that Joker movie was awesome.
Yes, it was. I loved it. Oh my gosh,
it was really good.
I'm such a huge fan of Joaquin's. I was like, I loved him. First of all, I maintain that every once in a while in movies, the side character or the one that's supposed to be the supporting character stands out above the main character. I feel like in Gladiator, Russell Crowe did a great job, but Commodus made that movie. And Joaquin Phoenix played Commodus. I don't know if you all saw The Gladiator or not. Came out, I think, in 2000.
That's it.
Joaquin Phoenix Commodus is what made Russell Crowe's Maximus looks so good, in my opinion. And since the first time that I saw Joaquin Phoenix in that role, I knew that he was just a great actor. Now, he has done a number of different movies since then, and he's done a great job in all of them. But I maintain that Joker has been his best performance besides Commodus that I've seen thus far. Loved that film.
Yeah,
but
Absolutely loved it.
that is dope. But before we, go to the next topic, so DC, I'm giving you guys a heavy PSA. So if you guys can sit here and make me a Batman Beyond movie and a Static Shock movie, maybe you guys might be able to come back in the game. Who knows, man? Who knows? Because those are not just, because you guys gave him a series and whatnot, and Batman Beyond was extremely dope right after the DC animated series, but y'all just gave him one animated movie and whatnot. But damn it, you didn't follow up with a screenplay, and y'all kept trying to tease people over here with fake articles like you guys are about to do this. DC, may y'all please, whoever owns those rights, make that movie for everyone, because I guarantee there are people out there waiting for that movie, including Static Shock 2. All right. We're waiting for those two movies.
Well, I actually heard that's going to be in development soon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That one's in
goodness.
development. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, because y'all need to catch up to the game, because I've been waiting for this.
Real quick, since we're on DC, and before we get to the next movie, because I know we want to move on to the next topic. So my little spiel on DC and their movies is restore the fucking Snyderverse. I don't know if y'all been seeing that hashtag going around, restore the Snyderverse, but I really think they just need to let Zack Snyder do his thing. And I think that was one of the major problems with DC, because Zack Snyder actually created a connected universe. But I mean, we know the story with the studio interference and everything that's happened with Batman versus Superman and them cutting off some of the time, and Justice League. We already know the controversy behind that. Just a lot of fuck shit going on in the studio that is messing with these movies and just messing with the flow. And I think that is a one of the biggest contributors to why DC, in terms of its cinematic universe, is disjointed and can't catch up with the Marvel cinematic universe because of all this studio interference. They're not letting Zack Snyder do his thing. He was creating an interconnected universe that could at least, try to compete with Marvel, even though Marvel was ahead at the, Marvel's ahead, obviously, but just them getting in the way. And from what I've been reading so far, they don't even want to continue with Zack Snyder's Snyder universe for DC. They don't even want to do a Justice League Part 2 or anything like that. Wow. They want to get away from that. So all of that right there is what's really fucking DC up. If DC, Warner Brothers, would just get out of the way, let him do his thing, I honestly think they can, they can make some great movies. But there just needs to be a plan, they need to stick to that plan, get behind, Zack Snyder or whoever, just get behind somebody that can really push the cinematic universe and just let them do their thing. That's how I see it anyway.
That's like you said before with the Joss Whedon one, you trying to forget that whole film. So
we got to forget that exists.
Yeah. So since it don't exist, so all I'm gonna just say is, like I said earlier before,
not wiping it out of existence though.
PAT wants to wipe it out of existence. I said it was an okay movie, but hey, that's just my thing.
I mean, Zack Snyder's Justice League was 10 times better though. It was 10 times better.
By far.
Far superior. Just it's way better. That's the original. That's the movie that should come out.
But it's still way better than that first atrocity.
I still
far.
think they should have trashed Batman versus Superman, but that's just me. But I'm gonna just leave that one alone. I'm definitely
same disagreement.
disagree.
I'm definitely in disagreement there.